WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. You see I have already the bottles in front of me. I have Spey, Chairman's Choice versus Spey, 12-year-old Tawny Port finished. Both of these actually cost here in Germany 60 euros, 40%, 46%. Ex-bourbon matured plus also then a port finish. Here, I have no idea. Zero information whatsoever. So I'd like to read the information given on the Speyside Distillery website. Spey's Chairman's Choice. It was on Christmas Day in 1787 that John Harvey, acting in his capacity as chairman of the company, personally selected the whiskey to be used only by family. John Harvey called this exclusive and secret whiskey Spey Chairman's Choice. Humbug! I'm sorry. The Spey Distillery was built 1990. No way in the world did John Harvey in 1887 go to the Spey Distillery and buy something. There was no Spey Distillery. Come on, this is marketing BS at its best, in my personal opinion. All right, current chairman, John McDowell, Senior now oversees a limited global allocation of Chairman's Choice to enable friends and family to share this rare gift and wonderful heritage. All right, thank you very much, John, for doing that. Still, I don't know what I'm drinking. I have no idea what type of casks are in here. Today, in the world of transparency, we want and we need a little bit more than that. All right, Whiskybase number 60295, 40%, as I said. Now, there's a second problem we have with the Spey Distillery at the moment. Well, we don't have it. The Spey Distillery has it. Because Harvey's of Edinburgh bought the distillery in 2012, and I would have expected they didn't buy just the brand name, but they actually bought the building. No, they didn't. So, as of January 2021, we now know that their meat contract, their lease has been terminated. And so the Spey Distillery, as of my information of July 2021, at the end of July, they have no new home. They have plans to build a new home, but who knows when and where. It takes a little while to build things in Europe here. All right, 9, yes, I do know that the spring 2025 is a long way away, but we'll see what happens. Now, who bought this wonderful building? And that is actually no one, because someone leased it. And it was Glasgow Whiskey. You know, 1770, they did that. So starting in spring of 2025, they will be using this building to produce their own whiskey. I have no idea if they're going to call it Glasgow Whiskey or 1770 Whiskey or Spey Whiskey or something else. Who knows? But they actually promised to adapt and to modernize the distillery. Now, Harvey's of Edinburgh had a problem from the very beginning. There was no warehouse on site. So it's a historic building. It's a listed building. Around the building is a lot of landscape, which are swamps, which are used as a protective area for a lot of birds. And so there was no possibility close by to build a warehouse. So what did they do? They sent every little drop that they made in the Spey Distillery down to Glasgow. That's where it was stored. That's where it was bottled. That's where it was sent out from, and so on. And so, who knows? At least I know this was ex-bourbon, and I know this was finished, I don't know how long, in ex-Tawny Port, and I have no idea what this is. All right, so, I thought I'd already poured something. I'm sorry. I'm ranting and raving, and I thought the time would be used here to allow the whiskey to air out a bit. But nope. All right, so question of the day. What other distilleries have you ever heard of that do not own the building that they're in? So to be very honest, I do not think Glasgow owns the building that they're in. They rented it as well. It's an industrial complex. Who knows? And so they're going to rent something else. I know Glendalough in Ireland didn't own their little facility. It was also a rented place. So what other distilleries, if you can even call Glendalough a distillery, do you know of that actually have problems or potential problems in the future by not owning the premises? Interesting concept. I was almost totally sure that every single distillery owned their premises, but I was wrong. I'm learning and learning and learning. All right, so the first thing I do also recognize is the color. I don't know. This over here, the 12-year-old says non-chilled filtered. This says nothing. So I guess it's chill filtered, 40%. This has no mention of natural color, but it's fairly light. This might be colored. We don't know. People in the year 2021 and further on, we want to know as connoisseurs of whiskey, is it non-chill filtered? Is it natural color? I would actually, if it was me, I'd put a law into place that has to have that information on the bottle. Yeah, that would be great. And so, but hey, I'm not making the laws. Now, Spey is basically used or is imported over to Asia, Taiwan particularly. And I think in 2020, it might have been 2019, Spey actually signed a contract with a big distributor in China. So they're going to send a lot of their whiskeys over there. So if you're watching this video from Taiwan or from China, hi, ni hao. All right, on the nose. I do get a caramel moment. I do get a little tiny bit of maybe a sherry moment, and I get a little bit of like a basement type of old book smell. It has the feeling, at least on the nose, that this is a much older whiskey than the 12-year-old. Now, I might be totally wrong. My other theory is they took maybe 20% of so much older whiskey, 14, 15, 16-year-old whiskey, and mixed it with 5 to 60-year-old whiskey. And that's why there's a little bit of a disharmony in that whiskey, according to my personal opinion. This is all 12-year-old or minimum 12 years old. And on the nose, it's much brighter. I do get a tiny little bit of a raspberry moment compared to the Chairman's Choice. The port is actually presenting itself slightly. All right, let's try. This was a C whiskey with a D price tag. I think this might be actually the same. Cheers. This means how much heat I have. This is the taste experience. It's not bad. There's a nice caramel. There's a nice toffee moment. There's more heat than I expected for a 40-year-old whiskey. It comes in fairly watery, a little bit flat, but then it develops. It does develop in a positive direction here. Not bad, not bad. It could actually be a C plus in my book. Now the price tag is still for 60 euros way too high. I think I would prefer the Glenfiddich 12 more than this, but it has a little bit of the feeling of it is a single malt, but it's a little bit of the feeling of a creative. Can someone tell me? I have no idea. What does this bottle number mean? I have the same feeling when I have a Bushmills 21. There's a bottle number on there, but it has no context. So I have bottle number 3,971. And it's a 6-digit number, which goes up to 100 or 999,999. So who knows? Who knows? And on the back, there's just this information. I'm going to read it. Spey, Chairman's Choice, Single Malt Scotch Whisky, Spey Single Malt Whisky, the secret that cannot be told, only discovered. Keep the secret. That's it. There's no information whatsoever. Talking about marketing BS. I mean, people. No, no, no. Distilled and bottled by Speyside Distillers Company Limited. All right. No, keep the secret. Shh. Can only be discovered. Can't tell anyone. There's no information whatsoever about what this whiskey is made of, what casks were used, non-chilled filtered, natural color, yes, no. All that information is what we like to have. All right. So over here to the 12-year-old. Much brighter, but there's much more of a kick at the end. The 46% comes through there. Put a little bit of water and it turns into a nice whiskey. With water, I could almost go for a C, almost going up to C+. Here, it's actually a little bit more of a creamier toffee caramel moment where I'm going to give it today, being very generous, a C+. Value for money, 60 euros. No, thank you. It's definitely not worth it in my book. It's a D whiskey. Same thing over here. Spey and I were not friends yet. I hope I'm going to find something out there that actually wows me and makes me want to buy a bottle. But both of these are things which are just not doing it for me at a price which is not actually attractive at all. So help me please. Question of the day: what other distilleries do not own their premises? Which ones rent or lease? Please write in the comments if you know. That'd be very interesting to know who else could have a problem in the next 10 or 8 or 5 or 50 years. Who knows? So Speyside Distillery is going to leave their home at the beginning of 2025, and Glasgow Distillery is going to take it over. Interesting. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, tell others, and thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for sharing this video, and thank you very much for commenting. All the best. Bye-bye.